so I saw that new feature film, Spider Man the movie. But wait a minute, Schaff. I thought you mentally checked out of the MCU after Guardians 3, and you haven't liked anything you've seen from it since. I liked Wonder Man. That was really good. But more importantly, I cannot overstate that I am a ride or die when it comes to Spider-Man. He's my favorite super guy ever, and I will be here for any movie with him in it, I'm afraid. And what do you know? This movie was actually really good. I very much enjoyed this installment in the wider Spider-Man saga. This is the first MCU Spidey installment that truly feels like traditional Spider-Man, where he's working on somewhat smaller scale New York crimes, and he's got a gaggle of his own villains to deal with. Literally, in the first 10 minutes, we see Nacho from Better Call Saul as Scorpion, finally returning from that post-credits tease 9 years ago, as well as Tombstone. Tombstone is just here now. He's not even in the movie after the first 10 minutes. He just exists, and he's one of Spider-Man's bad guys now. I like that. It implies a fair deal of time has passed since we last saw Spider-Man. And I also love how things could not be going worse for him. People have said this movie has shades of the Raimi trilogy, because we finally get to see Spider-Man miserable again, and dealing with an internal conflict that affects his powers. And yeah, all that stuff is pretty compelling. I actually think there's a solid theme in this movie, with Peter denying his human side, and more or less being Spider-Man full-time, since he wants to protect Ned and MJ. His conscious choice to refuse to let anyone into his life again makes him a great foil with two characters who don't have anyone anymore. The main villain, as well as Punisher. Yeah, Punisher is in this a lot more than I expected going in. I really thought he would just be a cameo character in the first third, but he's like one of the major players in this. And he's great. He obviously serves as a great reflection of Peter as someone who lost his own family. So they play off of each other really well dramatically, but also comedically. It's kind of funny, because I saw these guys 2 weeks ago in the Odyssey, and I didn't think their performances were quite as good as everyone else there, but it's pretty clear that Tom Holland and Jon Bernthal are absolutely pitch perfect as Spider-Man and Punisher. I'm kind of shocked it took this long to bring them together. I mean, I'm pretty sure these characters have a lot of history in the comics, but I guess it took a while to fully integrate the Daredevil characters into the wider MCU. We even get other Daredevil elements like the Hand in this, and they fit in pretty well. Honestly, I thought every wider MCU cameo fit pretty well here. You got Russian Florence Pugh as Peter's informant. I don't know when they met, but that makes sense. The Hulk is back in a way I think is going to be very satisfying to people who are not a fan of this fucker. The main thing I've heard divided opinions on, though, is a new character introduced in the MCU that serves as the main villain of this movie. And yeah, I can understand why. It is a random ass pull. Like, sometimes the characters in this movie feel like they were names pulled out of a hat in pre-production. But I'm gonna be honest, I think it really worked. The villain is tremendously threatening in terms of their abilities. It's a real, how the hell is Peter gonna stop them sort of character. And the performance is great. Some people have complained that it feels too much like a blatant attempt to set up future plot lines and characters for the MCU, when this is supposed to be a Spider-Man movie. I kinda get that to some extent. Like, when we're really going into the villain's backstory, at some point during that sequence, I forgot I was watching a Spider-Man movie, but everything still feels self-contained to this movie. And they don't tease other characters. It's just this one, who isn't traditionally a Spider-Man villain. But it works for this particular story. When people described the egregious future MCU setup, I was anticipating something like the Sinister Six cameos from Amazing Spider-Man 2. There's nothing like that, don't worry. It honestly feels pretty contained to just this story. Most importantly, much like Punisher, the villain serves as a good dramatic foil to Peter. I really like the way he attempts to stop them, and I love how Punisher tries his own method. It's a real, what the hell is this guy gonna do against this threat moment. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I think at its core, this movie works so well not only because the story feels worth telling and like it advances Peter Parker's character, but also because the direction is really damn good. I like No Way Home and all, and I know it was filmed during COVID, but damn, that movie is turbo ass looking. You don't get any of those muddy, dark environments or distractingly weak CGI. This movie honestly looks really vibrant and alive, especially by MCU standards. The action is really fluid and well done in this, and a couple of fights in the second half are really phenomenal. I think all of this can be credited to the change in director, Dustin Daniel Cretton. He was behind Shang-Chi, which I didn't love, but it did have really cool action. And he's one of the creative forces behind that Wonder Man show I really liked. This guy really seems to have a thing for Ben Kingsley's Trevor Slattery. Like, it's weird that he showed up in 2 of his 3 Marvel projects. Anyway, the direction in this movie is so strong, it kind of makes you wonder what the hell John Watts was doing in the previous 3 MCU Spider-Man. Those movies are all pretty decent, but they do not have the sauce visually or direction-wise, aside from a couple select scenes where he randomly chooses to lock the fuck in. Here, this is a movie that feels locked in the entire time. For the most part, I honestly think it's a little bit long in the tooth. And it kind of gets lost in the sauce of not really focusing on Spider-Man as much in the second half. The first half is incredibly strong, and the second is pretty good. It's a fun time. I liked seeing Mr. Milchick and Tina from The Bear in it. I was pretty happy with the way they left his relationships with MJ and Ned. I thought that was a strong emotional aspect of the movie that also didn't cheapen the events of No Way Home. Overall, yeah, it's a good-ass movie, and I enjoyed it. Am I excited for Doomsday? Absolutely not, but it's nice to know that I could still dip in and out of the MCU when I please, and have a good time every now and then. I'm gonna give Spider-Boy Bold New Taste an 8 out of 10. I'll probably check out a bit more MCU stuff. Like, I heard Thunderbolts was pretty good. Maybe I'll catch it on a plane sometime. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Sorry if this review was a little late. Not only was I busy playing Splatoon Raiders instead of writing it, but I'm also currently in France. I wanted to see if Paris Promenade in Mario Kart was as impressive as the real thing or not. But I made sure to watch Spider-Man the day before my flight like a good little reviewer. And I'm glad I did. It's fun. That's about it. Good night, New York City.